Hello there. You can call me Anna Prahovanu or Anna PH for short. As you have probably deduced from the thumbnail and title, this video will be slightly different than my usual character design speed paints. The topics discussed can also get quite triggering, so I will put content warnings right here. Anyway, I've decided to make this video after a case got out in my homeland that there was a website where people post deep fakes of real people freely. I think it's a good thing to raise awareness about this issue, especially because I have some valuable advice to give. As someone who has experienced cyberstalking, I only learned the right thing to do in this situation from a lecturer for my clinical psychology degree, so I thought my knowledge would be useful in this situation. First, I'll do the story time, and then I'll offer tips. But if you wish to skip to the tips, I'll offer timestamp right here.
You still with me? Okay, so it's difficult for me to recount the story, but I'll try. So imagine this. I was younger than I am now. I didn't really know who I was yet. I was just barely starting to put myself out there. I didn't have much of a sense of autonomy. I was really struggling to find self-confidence, and I was also in high school. So this was also when I was worrying about my career and uni applications, and especially whether I wanted to pursue a theater, film, art school, or a stable psychology degree within a short path. That was my worry at the time. Case in point, making art was always a comfort to me, and since I was so unsure about the world and my place in it, I made all types of art, like all types of art. Okay, so one day in June, a few months after I had turned 18 years old, I don't remember what the weather was or what I was doing, but I know that I was in the bathroom and it was 3 a.m. or something like that. I think I woke up to go there and I was washing my hands. Anyway, I was scrolling through my phone and absentmindedly tapped my email app. But I noticed a strange email telling me just to check my spam repeatedly. Then I saw another one, referring to me by my name, calling me naughty for some reason, thinking that it was just a random prank or a store trying to sell me something. I tapped my finger on it. I decided to read more, and this was probably the most disturbing thing I had seen in my life so far. Someone who called themselves E had sent me an email to tell me that they had seen me getting coffee with my friend, which was something that strangely enough actually happened a few weeks prior. This person claimed that they had seen me in public but were too afraid to speak to me, and thus dropped something to my phone to get my information and pictures from my gallery while they were near. They also claimed that they had seen my art and also art that was sent to me by other people. They also claimed to have looked through my search history. I don't want money. My interest is not to harm you, but to see more of you. I desire you. And before they made their request, they said that if I didn't do this, they would send the drawings and the search history to the universities that I had applied to, and to the actual school that I went to, and put the drawings on their media pages. And also that they will send them to my relatives who happen to be contacts who shared my last name, and that if I told anyone or tried to make them stop, that they would do this. I don't want to do this, so I hope you don't make me. Then they stated their request that I put NSFW pictures and videos of myself every day on the folder over the next 2 weeks. They said that they don't want to make me sad and to tell them how I felt each time I would send one, and pretending to be friendly and close to me, saying that I could send them things that I enjoy, quote unquote, and that there will be other requests after I'm done with this. Then the email ended by saying they don't want anything other than a gorgeous woman for their eyes only, and that they wished I wasn't applying for school so far away from the place I lived at the time. Your admirer, E. By this point, I knew that I was being threatened. I had no clue what to do. All I knew was that I had to create a cover-up fast. I deleted the drawings soon after, and decided to respond to the emails. And don't worry, I never actually sent this person any content. I instead tried to appease them by telling them to calm down and that we could meet and talk. They responded and declined. And through our conversation, if you can call it that, this person told me that they went to the university of the place I lived in at the time and studied computer science. It was very strange, as if trying to be someone pointing a gun at you. They made constant threats. I was very lost and alone and unsure. I knew logically that this blackmail wasn't real, that I wouldn't be rejected from school over drawings and search histories. But what scared me is that my privacy had been invaded. This person decided to look through my search history and found multiple of my Google accounts and my phone gallery. But still, I didn't want to be judged over what I had drawn. In the end, my attempts to make these didn't really work. The people I had previously contacted had also been sent creepy emails by this person, which happily only made those relatives concerned. I had contacted authorities. This person, however, was using an email address from a company that hides your IP address for you, so all I could do was try to get them to click on a link which would show it, which they obviously refused. And by the time they had made their last threat, they had probably realized what I was trying to do, and they threatened to send people reels and the fakes, and by this, I assumed that they had made deepfakes of selfies I had on my phone. But in the end, they simply gave up on me and deleted their account. Soon I also found out that there was nobody at that university they claimed to go to who was named that and who matched their description. So they probably just noticed that I was soon to be a student and made a fake persona to sound credible, coupled with broken English. I eventually also found out that they had probably never met me, because they had to have gone through thousands of people's data to even get to me. On the last few emails, I did make sure to refer them to authorities. Sadly, the police couldn't do anything because there was no way to find out who it was, and the case was over, just like that. I don't think I need to state the implications of this. The fact that even if you're a normal person who isn't that well known yet, pictures like that could exist out there of anyone. Okay, now that the story is over, it's time to move on to the tips. So the first tip is to know that it's not your fault. Deepfakes are something that can affect literally anyone. Like any picture can be used to create them, even a picture of someone's head or a formal picture, and you have no control over whether or not they are created. This is something I wanted to clarify first. It also has nothing to do with how dirty or naughty or impure you might be. Here's the thing, innocence and modesty will not save you from anything. They are respectable qualities, sure, but traits that would actually help to protect you from predators? Absolutely not. It will never save you ever. Purity culture is not going to save you. The pure moral people will never help you. I could call myself a sexual deviant, and I'm not afraid to say that. The person who blackmailed me is not a sexual deviant. They are a predator. There's a difference. And I think the world would be a better place if people were more honest about their sense of sexuality, if people were less repressed, if sex wasn't the forbidden fruit anymore. Things like these could be less likely to happen. The second tip is related to technology. So whenever you go outside, you should always turn off your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and you should use mobile data. And preferably, you shouldn't have anything that could be considered suspicious or unusual on your phone. You can keep them on your computer if you want to. I think that's safer, but not on your phone. The third tip is how to report if something like this does happen. So, I had a lecture on cyberstalking, and basically it said that stalkers are usually looking for a reaction, any reaction. So the best thing to do would be to not respond in any way. So the main motivations of cyberstalkers particularly are to exert power or to initiate a relationship. They also tend to have unstable and antisocial personality traits. Now, there are 4 types of cyberstalkers, which I'll show you on the screen here. The typology that mine was probably the intimate type. It's also quite telling that this person immediately got angry and started making threats upon noticing that I wasn't immediately compliant with their demands. And the 4th tip is that you should, if possible, contact the email company or whatever it was they contacted you through, as there might be a chance they can find out who it was. And, of course, the final tip is to keep your mental health in check. I recommend talking to the friend you trust the most. Cut out anyone toxic from your life. Cut them out, literally, like ruin their life if you have to, if they provide you negativity. Trust your gut instinct more than anything. And remove, any negativity from your life if you can. And when I say remove, I mean remove through any means necessary.
I'm aware that this video might seem sobering, but I think it was quite important to make. It's important to raise awareness to what happens in this case, and more importantly, why that happens. And I shall leave you with that note. If you found this video helpful or moving, I would encourage you to subscribe, like, dislike. Any engagement is helpful. And if you could check out my story Dear Time, that would also be nice. Thank you.